Okay, hey YouTube, my first video cover of me talking. Well, not a cover, my first uh, video of me actually talking to my viewers, subscribers, and anybody else who watches this. Yeah, this is me. Nice little air stretch video. It's not a tutorial. It's just my personal stretching experience from start to finish. Basically, I wanted to get industrial piercing for my birthday week, my friend's birthday week, and we was gonna go get pierced same time. He wanted to get an eyebrow piercing. I wanted industrial piercing, but changed my mind and decided I wanted to stretch. So that's what I did. I got my ears pierced at a standard piercing and let them heal for 9 weeks. And yeah, so I ordered my stretching kit online, and it came in a few weeks. Uh, yeah, and then I skipped the size. That's what I did. I wasn't supposed to, but I did. I skipped to 10 straight from a standard piercing. And the reason why I did it very responsibly because, 14 was a waste of time. It was about the same size as the earring that I had, and I looked at it and knew it was a waste. And 12 went in insanely easy, to whereas it felt like I was just putting my earrings back on when I put the 12 gauges in. I didn't even need the taper. I could just put the plugs right in. So yeah, I didn't do 12. Why am I looking at myself instead of the camera? Okay, camera's up here. So yeah, I stretched to 10, and I felt what I was told I was gonna feel. Mild stinging slash burning sensation with no significant pain. So yeah, I stretched to 10. I let that heal for about 2 weeks, went to 8. Let 8 heal for about 2 weeks, went to 6. Gave it a little bit more time for 6 because that was the first stretch that I felt was an actual challenge. It was the first stretch that was somewhat difficult. And yeah, so my ears was fine. I let them heal up for a few more weeks. Just under a month, and I went from 6 to 4. Left 4 in for a little while, and it just a little less than the time I waited between 8 to 6 or 6 to 4. Then I went to 2. I started wearing double flared plugs after a few weeks into 2. Gave it about a month and went to 0. And 0 is the first time I felt that I actually stretched too fast. Even though people were saying, all the time that I stretched too fast. And, some people were saying that it was cool to stretch, only wait a few weeks in between and not necessarily a whole month. But yeah, I went to 0, and my ears got swollen, red, sore, slightly pussy after a few days, and I just kept them real clean. Weren't sure if they was infected or not, but I kind of gained a tolerance for infections because I used to work in a meat room. I used to get cut all the time, and been to the doctor and got those medications and stuff that just help it all that. So I kind of built up a tolerance for infections, and it used to go away real easy. So yeah, I just massaged my ears with oil, kept them clean. I didn't take them out when I was at 0. I just twisted them around, washed them with soap, and put cleaned them and put what's it called on it, holy butter. But after a few weeks, I just stopped using the holy butter. Now I just use holy oil. And yeah, after all that, here I am. I'm at 0. It's my stopping point. It was considered double 0 or possibly 7/16, but I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with this size. I think this is my stopping point. But yeah, that's my stretching experience in a nutshell. You could ask, comment, ask questions, anything you need to know. I keep doing that, looking down at myself instead of the camera. Hello. Yeah. So one issue, zero, zero hurt like a bitch. I would say wait 6 weeks to 2 months and not just a month like I did. It'll probably still hurt because it's a 2 millimeter stretch. If you could find some 1 gauge plugs, that'd be a big help. But I live on an island, I have to order my shit and it takes forever to come in. So yeah, I just said fuck it and got the used the regular taper and all that. I didn't have no 1 gauge. Uh, I did a few days before I got went to zero. I did put a few layers of tape on my 2 gauge plugs and left it in. And left it in for a couple of days to kind of give my air a bit more leverage to get to zero, and it helped. They went in with a bit of, had to use a bit more force than I ever used with any other stretch, but it went in pretty fine. And yeah, they were in and they got all sore and pussy, and then I cleaned them, and yeah, now they're fine, they're healthy. I'm wearing bling tunnels. One more thing that might help for the smaller sizes like 14, 12, and 10, the flare doesn't seem to be much bigger than the actual flat zone of the plug, or whatever you want to call it. So that the second night when I was at 10, it sunk into my ear, like the flare sunk into my ear, and it bled a little bit, and my ear was all a bit sore for a few days, and I just cleaned it, and the usual. And what I did was I took the O-rings off the taper, because the plug actually comes with 1 O-ring, the taper comes with 2. So I took the 2 off of those, and I just put the O-ring, put the plug straight to the O-ring, then put it on my ear as kind of like a stopper so it doesn't sink into my ear, and I put the other O-ring on it back. So I had like a silver little circle part of the tunnel coming out, the flared part coming out, with a little black O-ring outline. It looked kind of wicked. And yeah, I left it like that. And just for 10, for 8s, they didn't sink into my ear, so I just left the plugs how they were for 8. And yeah, so I had a smooth stretching experience until I got to zero, and then they got all sore and stuff. But as I said, I'm pretty good with infections and stuff like that. So yeah, this is bling tunnel. This is what it looks like. The camera's kind of crappy, but yeah, that's just what it looks like. Screws on, screws off, externally threaded. So make sure your ears are fully healed if you're ever gonna get any of these, because you don't want the ridges on the screw-on part to upset your ears before they're fully healed and kind of possibly cause an infection or just cause irritation. So, but yeah, my ears are fully healed now. It's been what, about a month or 3 weeks or so since I went up to zero. And you can't really be able to judge the quality of my ears and say, oh, they look healthy. But yeah, that's my stretching experience in a nutshell. It's not a tutorial video yet. If you have any questions or anything you want to ask about my experience to use as a guideline for your own, or you're just curious, or you just want to talk or whatever, just comment, subscribe if you want, like, dislike, whatever. That's it. I'm Siraj, by the way. Enjoy my other videos. See you.